Well, absolutely. You've got almost every major federal agency under it, and now under the Real ID Act, they want you to have a federally licensed through the state ID card to even be able to work. It's a total tracking system, and you also went somewhere where you were threatened to be shot.
Well, yeah, they have areas in the country where they have signs up that say lethal force is authorized, which I find unbelievable. Whatever happened to a trial, whatever happened to going to court, how can you be judge, jury, and executioner in one fell swoop? Now, not saying that they necessarily have or did, but there's areas in this country where they've posted that lethal force is authorized if you cross this line.
And there's not even a fence. It's just you cross some magical line on a dune buggy, you're dead.
Yep. Well, you could be. It's not saying that you are, but they're authorized to take you out with lethal force if they desire.
Well, Governor, I mean, as you know, in 1947, the CIA got unlimited money, funding, and secrecy. And if you've got 60 years of a group being able to operate with unlimited funds and power, I mean, they've been caught shipping in narcotics, they've been caught engaged in assassinations, and they just think this country is their own private whorehouse.
Well, and unfortunately our elected officials are allowing them to get away with it. We need to, get back our country and remember always, Alex, that we the people when this country was formed, we were supposed to be the priority. It was supposed to be a country of citizens first, government second. But it's not that way today. Government is number one, and we citizens fall by the wayside because everything is directed towards the government and the survival of the government.
Governor, I know you've been busy shooting, but earlier in the week, Top Secret USA came out, 2-year Washington Post investigation, 850+ thousand private corporate chiefs, so that's close to 1 million, with the highest level security clearance there is. And the Washington Post described it as a complete takeover of society. So we have a private corporate system that's giving itself government power, just running completely roughshod, and they admit that their plan is to end the freedom on the Internet as we know it.
Oh, I wouldn't doubt it. I said that probably about 10 years ago. I said the Internet right now is the only thing where you can, have total freedom on there, but I said rest assured the government will put high priority on getting control of the Internet because that's the one place you can go to supposedly and have freedom, and they're not going to allow that. More and more I'm seeing our country becoming under the thumb of corporate America, not even, well, it's like, it came out in the article that I said, I now am very clear on why we're in Afghanistan, Alex. It has nothing to do with terrorism and bin Laden. That's all a big red herring. We're there for the lithium. Did you see that story a month ago where they found $8 billion of a lithium over there? I mean, think about it. That runs every cell phone, computer, and soon-to-be electric cars.
Well, you're absolutely...
The reason we're in Afghanistan is to get the lithium. Now, why won't they just be honest and say that?
Well, they went on to admit that it could be potentially $1 trillion, and that they knew this in reports before they invaded. It's also about the trillions in oil in that region as well.
Right, and that's the reason we're there. All this stuff on terrorism, put it this way, terrorists are like a motorcycle gang. They're out there. Yes, they do exist, and there is a possibility that you can run into them, very minute. But they are not what this government is making us believe. They are not like the Nazi army. They are not like the Japanese army of World War II. They're not a country out there. They're just small groups of criminals that are involved in criminal activity, and you have to deal with them. But to put they're an excuse to put our country under lock and key and take our rights away from us.
Absolutely, and every major technology firm out there is getting massive government contracts to spy on the American people. They've completely butchered the Bill of Rights and Constitution, and all these groups have the motive for the terror. They stand to gain from it. Did you see the Financial Times of London with one of Obama's advisors, Robert Shapiro, saying in fact, guys, print that quote for me, that if Obama doesn't have an Oklahoma City or 9/11 soon, his political days are numbered.
Well, how would Oklahoma City or 9/11 help him?
to be blamed on domestic groups, to be blamed on the American people.
Well, okay. Well, all I know, Alex, is that, I fully expect within 10 years that we're going to have national ID cards, and you're going to have to show them to go state to state.
Oh, they're already saying that we've got a national ID card, and they do want you to have it for anything. Since I mentioned it, top Clinton official, only a terror attack can save Obama. Financial Times of London. The bottom line here is that Americans don't believe in Obama's leadership, said Shapiro, adding he has to find some way between now and November of demonstrating that he is a leader who can command confidence in short of a 9/11 event or an Oklahoma City bombing. I can't think of how he can do that. Governor Ventura, is that chilling?
Well, unbelievable. I mean, that they talk about that an event has to take place to have confidence in your president. What, that he can fight a war, that we have the strongest military in the world? We've already proven that. I just find it outrageous that someone would say that and what they'll do for political gain.
Well, it's very brazen. They think we're a bunch of idiots to be talking like that openly. Governor, in closing, let's talk about the issue of the First Amendment and give out that number one more time.
Okay. This is Ken Hawes, and he's the U.S. Army Chief of Public Affairs, and he's the guy that wouldn't allow me. And in the letter to Michelle Bachmann, it said his office also stated that he would almost certainly not allow filming at John F. Kennedy's Eternal Flame without the permission of the Kennedy family. So he's saying the Kennedy family has to give permission to film at the Eternal Flame. Wasn't the Eternal Flame to burn eternally for all of us to see it, take pictures of it, and live with it? And then it goes on to say, additionally, Mr. Hawes stated that you were denied in part because of the nature of your television program. Specifically, he stated the topic of your particular episode, which alleges the United States government was directly involved in the assassination of President John F. Kennedy, is contrary to the mission of the United States Army. Now, first of all, Alex, they didn't know what's in my show. My show hasn't aired yet, so they're simply assuming what's in there. And then they're denying me because of the content of the show. John Kennedy was murdered in Dallas, and if you don't go along with the official story, you are not allowed to film at his Eternal Flame. I guess if you do go along with the official story, maybe then they'll let you. We didn't ask that. But again, his name is Ken Hawes. His phone number is 310-235-7621. Once again, 310-235-7621. And I'd love for all real Americans to give this guy a call and give him a piece of your mind on who in the hell he thinks he is.
Well, Governor Jesse Ventura, if we don't hang together, we'll certainly hang separate, as Benjamin Franklin said. Separately on this issue, though, you said that Michelle Bachmann, the congresswoman from your state, is very upset about this. We need to have an investigation, or, I mean, pretty soon the military will tell us how to wipe our noses.
Exactly, and what's the military doing inside our country telling us things like that? The U.S. military is supposed to protect us, not from ourselves. They're supposed to protect us from foreign invasion or foreign powers. But it seems they're becoming too much involved internally in our country, which I think, Alex, is part of the plan.
And your book covers a lot of this. It's so jam-packed, American Conspiracies, and incidentally, it's available at Infowars.com. You get a free film of your choice when you get the book, American Conspiracies, at Infowars.com. It just covers basically all the key issues. I think it's Jesse Ventura's best book and is a New York Times top 10 bestseller. We've only got about 2 minutes left, Gov. So much is happening, but it sounds like this second season is even more adventure and action-packed than the last one. I
think it's going to be. It certainly is being more adventurous in doing it. I guess we were under the radar the first year we did it, but now it's aired on TV, so we've obviously gotten the attention of the United States government. There's no doubt about that.
And what, 8 to 10 episodes this season?
Yeah, 8 for sure, and possibly 10. We're doing 8 for sure. We've almost completed half of them now. So half of them are just about ready to go into the editing room and be put together into a final form. And then we got the other 4 to do before October, and it should be on the air, I'm guessing, around mid-October sometime.
Well, Governor...
That is, Alex, unless Mr. Haas has something to say about it. I'm sure if they ask for his input, my show will be censored and not allowed on television.
Well, what is the Army involved in what views of American citizens, much less a former governor, is?
I don't know. You tell me. To me, they're overreaching their bounds dramatically, and this Ken Haas guy should be relieved of whatever his duty is.
Well, we talked last time, a month or so ago, about an awakening. I am seeing an awakening, so I hope the pendulum starts really swinging against all this tyranny.
Me too. Alex, I got to run. You take care, and I'll keep in touch, and I'll let you know anything else that goes on.
All right, Governor Jesse Ventura, thanks for keeping us abreast of the situation. Thanks for the Fifth and the First Amendment. Take care.
It's not about justice. It's not about agenda. It's not about mobilizing people. It's about dialing for corporate dollars. These two parties have sold the U.S. government and the American people to the highest bidders.